Here's everything you need to know about Team Derby in 2014 in just under 4 minutes, starting now. Clubs and committees from both Derby and Buxton managed to recruit over 1,000 students for the first time ever as Team Derby began this historic year. Students got off to a flying start with Give It a Go days in Freshers before teams began training hard in preparation for the season. Before we knew it, #Winning Wednesdays were here, and week 1 of Bucks came with big wins for hockey, badminton, rugby and netball, as well as a win for men's football first in their new home shared with the Derby County first team. Social football leagues were bigger than ever, and reigning champions Dodgeball had already got off to winning ways in the National Premier Division. Weeks 2 and 3 brought more big wins for rugby league and basketball, and Buxton netball remained unbeaten. However, tennis and volleyball stole the headlines with their first ever competitive wins. The Derby Braves got their campaign up and running with 2 big wins, not conceding any points in the process, and the women's American football team played their first ever fixture. Men's futsal started their season with impressive wins against Cranfield and Loughborough for the 2nd year running. Weeks 4 and 5 and both men's and women's hockey continued to steamroll through their leagues, and women's volleyball still couldn't be beaten. Weeks 6 and 7 of Bucks and Ruby Detende practically beat Birmingham single-handedly, scoring 37 out of 49 points for women's basketball, and Tom Currell took gold in archery. The Athletic Union hosted a bocce tournament in the middle of the university, and Northampton became our new varsity rivals. Back to Bucks, and tennis, women's football and badminton all continued the #Winning Wednesdays habit, taking a few big scalps along the way. Men's basketball were on form again with scholar Dan Watt scoring 6 3-pointers in a row against Lancaster. The 4 Ts, Thomas, Tom, Theo and Toby, stretched their winning streak to 4 races in rowing regattas. Sports clubs took their kit off to raise money for charity through a naked calendar organised by the Netball Club. Cheerleading brought home not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 trophies from comp, and a mystery futsal player scored 10 goals in 1 game. Snow sports went flying down the slopes at Teens to celebrate the end of the first semester. 2014 started with a bang, with Team Derby beating Loughborough twice in 1 week, and the basketball boys got their own back against Northampton with 22 points from American Alex Dorr. Buxton Rugby went on a 5-game winning streak in both the league and the cup. Volleyball continued their success with more wins for men's and women's teams, and men's hockey looked unbeatable. Men's futsal secured their league with a big win over Loughborough, and women's volleyball won their Bucks division in the same week, showing what giant leaps can be made in 2 academic years for any sport. Lacrosse won their first ever competitive game, beating De Montfort to reach the quarter-final of the Conference Cup. American football recorded their highest ever victory, demolishing Lancaster 80-0. Women's hockey won their league in convincing fashion with an 11-0 win over Worcester, and men's hockey wrapped up their league with a 13-0 win over Aston. Ruben Alves picked up a silver medal in the Bucks Boxing Championships, and he and Sol Miller began to run a women's-only fitness boot camp on campus. Derby Wolves were crowned champions of the Midlands 1A League, which set themselves up for the Premier North playoffs against Northumbria and Newcastle. Men's badminton bounced back in the league to take the championship on the head-to-head ruling against Wolverhampton. Derby dance team placed in 3 categories at the Loughborough dance competition, and archery finished their butt season as champions of both the novice and experience leagues. Ben Buckley won the Bucks Snooker Championships as fellow Team Derby player Nathan Laverack missed out in the quarter-finals to the eventual champion for the 2nd year running. Men's football first won the Midlands Conference Cup with a 2-1 win in the final against Nottingham on Varsity Day. And now, we as Team Derby currently sit in our highest ever position within Bucks, and we have witnessed some of the most inspiring and record-breaking accomplishments this year. And that's all down to you guys. So let's raise our glasses and toast to Team Derby and the class of 2014.